Act 4, Scene 1. In this one scene, we will study about Prospero. He is satisfied with the progress of Miranda's romance with Ferdinand. He says that in due course they would get married. In honor of the engagement of the young lovers, he arranges a masque for their entertainment. The masque is performed by spirits appearing in the guise of various goddesses. Then Prospero deals with Caliban, Stefano and Trinculo. The conspirators, Ariel lures them towards Prospero's cell. There certain spirits appear in the shape of dogs and hounds, and they chase away the three conspirators who are also tormented with aches, pain and cramps. This scene took place in before Prospero's cell. Cell means house. There enter Prospero, Ferdinand and Miranda. In last scene we had studied that Prospero had gone to brought Ferdinand and Miranda, and he told all the spirits to take care of the person present there. Now in this one scene, he presented there with the Ferdinand and Miranda. Prospero, if I have to assuredly punish you, your compensation makes amends, for I have given you here a thread of mine own life, or that for which I live, who once again I tender to thy hand. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. Here, afore heaven, I ratify this my rich gift. O Ferdinand, do you smile at me that I boost her off? For thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make it held behind her. Prospero was talking to Ferdinand. What he was telling? If I have harshly punished you, your reward now compensates for it. For I have given you an integral part of my life, or all things for which I live. He said that I had given you too much punishment, I know. But now I am giving you a reward for that punishment. I am going to give you a very best part of my life. And he said that is all things for me, which I want to have in this one life. Once again I offer her to you, that I am giving my daughter to you as your wife. All your hardships that you suffered were meant to test your love for her. That I had given you too much hardship so that I can test your love for my daughter. Here, and you have succeeded well in the test. Here, in the presence of heaven, I offer you my priceless gift. O Ferdinand, do not misunderstand me, saying that I only sing her praises. You will find that she is above all praise, and that no praise is sufficient to describe her. He said that I am giving you in the presence of God. I am giving you the hand of my daughter. But please, you do not misunderstand me that I am only praising about my daughter. You also know that my daughter is out of any praise, and she is a priceless gift for me. So, no description, no praise is sufficient to describe my daughter. Ferdinand, I do believe it against an oracle. He said that yes, I believe it. Even if an oracle were to pronounce differently, that you had spoken some words for her, but I know that she is really praiseworthy. And Prospero, then as my gift and thine own accusations worthily purchased, take my daughter. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. What Ariel? My industrious servant Ariel. Prospero said that take my daughters as my gift to you, and as what you have won over by your merit. Sit down and speak to her. She is your own. Why, here is Ariel, my servant Ariel. He said that I am giving you my daughter as the reward of your hard work. And he said that because of your qualities. Now you sit and talk to her as she is your. And he said that, here what are you, Ariel, what are you doing here? Come. Enter Ariel. Ariel, what would my potent master, here I am. He said that, what you want to tell me, powerful master, I am here. Prospero, thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go bring the rebel over whom I give thy power here to this place, incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me. Prospero said that you and your companions means all the other spirits, like as Ariel who was present on the island, did your last duty very well. I am going to employ you now in another task. That you had done your duty in a well manner, now I am giving you another work. Go bring the crowd here over whom I have given you control. Supper them on for a quick action, for I want to show this young couple an illusion worked out by my magic. I have promised it to them and they expect it from me. In last scene we had studied that when they started to eat something, the table and food disappeared. It was also the magic of Prospero. Now also Prospero said order to the Ariel that now you go, bring all that crowd here, means bring all that people here, and I want to give them a beautiful feast to complete their hunger, and I also want to present this young couple in front of them. And he said that I have promised all of them that I will give them food, so I want to complete my promise now. Ariel, presently, may I go at once? Prospero, yeah, with a wink. Yes, you will go at once. Ariel, before you can say come and go, and breathe twice and cry so, each one tripping on his toy will be here with mop and move. Do you love me, master? No? Ariel said that before you say come and go, and breathe twice and cry so, they will be here. Each spirit dancing on tiptoes with grimace and other facial expressions. Do you love me, my master? Don't you? He said that before you take one breath, I will bring all crowd here. And he said that every spirit is dancing in joyful manner. And he asked by the Prospero, do you love me, my master? Then he himself replied, don't you? Prospero, dearly. Dearly, now come my Ariel, bring a corollary rather than want a spirit, appear and prickly, no tongue, all eyes be silent. Prospero said that yes, I love you so much, my Ariel. Now come my dear Ariel, bring here more spirits rather than less. Let them appear quickly, be silent, all be attentive and be quiet. He said that yes, I love you, Ariel. Now you will go and bring all the spirits here, and all of you will be quiet. Only dance, no single word to speak. Then the soft music start, and enter there Arish, Ceres, most bounteous lady, the rich lees of wheat, rye, barley, vetches, oats, and peas. Thy trophy mountains, where live nibbling sheep, and flat mats thatched with stover, them to keep. Thy banks with pointed and twilled breams, which spongy April at thy haste betreams, to make cold nymphs chest crowned, and thy broom groves, whose shadow the dismissed bachelor loves, being less lorn, thy pole clipped vineyard, and thy sea merged still and rocky hard, where thou thyself dost err, the queen of the sky, whose watery arch and messengers am I, bids thy leave these, and with her sovereign's grace, here on this grass plot in this very place, to come and sport, her peacocks fly amain, approach rich Cereses her to entertain. Ares spoke that Cereses, the most gracious goddess of agriculture, presiding over your rich fields of wheat, rye, beryl, vetches, oats and peas. Means he want to say that goddess of agriculture has blessed you with fine food items. And he said that covered mountains where the sheep feed, flat meadows covered with fodder for the cattle, river banks overgrown with marsh marigolds and reeds, which wet April adorns at your command to furnish, garlands for virgin nymphs, and the clumps of broom, whose shadows the rejected lover seeks when he has lost his lady. With the vineyards, he said that every blessings you are having. You are having rivers here, you are having covered mountains here, you are having everything here. And goddess of agriculture also blessed you. And he said that vines clinging to poles and the sea beach, barren and hard as rock, where you go to take the air, the queen of the sky, Juno, to whom I am the rainbow and her messenger, commands you to leave everything and come on this grassy lawn, in this place, to play with her divine self. Her peacocks carry Juno here swiftly. Come, generous Cereses, prepare to entertain Juno. Juno is the goddess of sky. She also was coming here. Where? At the place where Prospero has arranged everything. So Ares is only the messenger of goddess Juno. And he ordered to Cereses that you come here to entertain the goddess. As the goddess peacock are bringing her here. So you must stay here. Everything is alright here. You got everything. Then Cereses enter there. Hail many colored messenger that never dost disobey the wife of Jupiter, who with the saffron wings upon my flowers diffused honey drops refreshing shore, and with each end of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres and my unshrubbled down, rich scarf to my proud earth. Why hath thy queen summoned me hither to this short graced green? Cereses spoke that Hail Ares, multicolored messengers, who never disobeyed Juno, the wife of Jupiter. Let no one disobey Juno. Juno is the wife of Jupiter. All of you will keep these names in your mind. Who is Juno? Queen of sky. Okay. Who is Jupiter? Juno's husband. Juno's husband. One goddess name also came here. That is the
Iris.
Goddess of agriculture. Name had not given here, but it is written that goddess of agriculture. Okay? And he said that nobody disobey Juno.
God of agriculture.
Name is not given here.
Ma'am, who is Iris? Iris.
Iris, it is given. He is the messenger of Juno. Messenger of Juno. According to the drama, we can say that Ares is the messenger of Juno, but his character name is given here before the drama. Listen. Ares, Cereses, Juno, nymphs and reapers, they all were presented by the spirits. Actually, they have no character. They are the spirits. Who has taken the character of these persons? Okay. Then he said, nobody disobey Juno. You who with the wings of orange color drop honey on my flowers in the form of refreshing shower, and with each end of your blue rainbow cover my green fields and my bare plains, like a rich scarf covering my proud mother, earth. Why has your queen called me here to this lawn covered with green grass? He said that, okay, we will obey Juno, and what will you do? You will drop honey on my flowers, and you will also cover my green fields. And why you called me here on this green grass area on the earth? Aries. A contract of true love to celebrate and some donation freely to state on the blessed lovers. You have been invited to celebrate a solemn pledge of true love and freely to bestow some gift on the happy lovers. He said that I called you on the earth because a function will be held here on the earth of true love. You should attend that, and you should also give them some gifts. Ceres, tell me, heavenly bow, if Venus or her son, as thou dost know, do now attend the queen, since they did plot the means that dusky dish my daughter got, her and her blind boys scandaled company I have forsworn. Ceres said, tell me, heavenly rainbow, if you know whether Venus or her son Cupid is now serving Juno, since they plotted against me by using those means by which Pluto, the dark god of the underworld, got my daughter, I have avoided the disgraceful company of Venus and her blind son. He said that I am ready to make happy to the couple. But first you tell me where is Venus and her son, because I don't want to stay with Venus and her blind son. Then Ares told him that of her society, be not afraid, I meet her destiny, cutting the clouds towards Paphos and her son, dove drawn with her hair, thought they too have done some wanton charm upon this man and maid, whose vows are that no bad right shall be paid. Ares said, do not be afraid of her company. I meet her sailing through the clouds towards Paphos. What is Paphos here? The name of a place in the island of Cyprus. It is believed to be the birthplace of Venus. Paphos is the name of a place, and it is imagined that it is a birthplace of Venus. So he said, don't worry about Venus and her son, because I had seen them to sailing towards the Paphos in a chariot drawn by doves, that they had gone there in a chariot, and it was drawn by the doves. They performed some magic charm on this man and maid, who had vowed to have no physical union until they were married. But their charm proved to be in vain. Venus, the darling of Mars, the god of war, has gone back. Cupid, her irritable son, has broken his arrows. He says he will shoot no more, but play with sparrow like any other boy. He said that Venus is the god of war. He had played some magic on Ferdinand and Miranda, so they do not go wrong before their marriage. And Venus' son, Cupid, he has broken his own arrow. He said that now I will not shoot anyone by the arrow. Now I will play with the sparrows like the other boys. We will stop it here. First you will read this chapter, later we will complete it.